أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا هب لنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما رب هب لي من لدنك ذرية طيبة إنك سميع الدعاء اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد بعدد كل داء ودواء وبارك وسلم عليه وعليهم كثيرا كثيرا والحمد لله رب العالمين. As a continuation of the previous week's discussion, I thought one point must be added, which is in the Quran there are two words used, and apparently they come from the same source, but people are not very comfortable about the meaning of one of them, Malakut. People translate it in various ways because it has various meanings. So let us aside what I would like to discuss today with you primarily, and then if we have time we can go over the book. Quran says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَلِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, which means, is a very straightforward sentence, ayah, verse, which means the property, the literal translation is the property of the heavens and earth belongs to God. When you just, and the continuation of this particular verse, it is repeated in many places, but this particular verse I remember and I'm referring to, says, وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ, and God is powerful over everything. When you read it with a sincere intention, you say, yeah, that's God who is introducing himself to me. But if you read it with a critical mind, a critical eye, you say, yeah, just as a self-determining sentence, statement saying that I am God and everything belongs to me and I can create everything I want. My power is enough to cover everything up. It means I'm powerful enough to control everything. It is just self-narration. But when we go back to the beginning, every time we have to go back to the beginning. The beginning is the definition of the Quran. What is the Quran? Quran, by definition, we may argue, but by definition, is the guidance or guiding speech of the Creator for human beings. Okay, then let me see how consistent it is, and then I will confirm it, or if I don't see any consistency in it, I will reject it. So I look at the sentence, and God says, all property belongs to me, or the heavens and the earth belong to God. Is God bragging, being proud of himself, or is he introducing himself to me? I would say with a good intention, he is introducing himself to me. Let me see. He is introducing himself to me, but let me see whether this introduction is consistent. Consistent with what? My observation. Because I'm here, I'm observing the world and seeing or trying to see the relationship or correspondence between what I see and what the Quran claims. So I start investigating whom or who the heavens and earth, it means everything, every being belongs to. It means, belongs to means the property belongs to the one who says, I am the creator. Is it really true? Is it? Property or the heavens and earth belong to the one who says, I am the creator, so I am the owner. I created it, I own it. Of course, the second stage of investigation comes to the point that is the world came into existence as a result of an external, apart from the universe itself, source, external source. If the world doesn't need any external source to come into existence, then I will be comfortable to say that, look, everything is coming into existence by themselves. Because there is no external, there's no need for an external source or external or actor or external, what else? Not only source, something externally needed to explain the existence of the world. Of course, the fundamental, very fundamental point we should concentrate on is whether universe and anything in this world can come into existence by itself, or anything in this world can sustain its existence by itself. If we find any way of explaining that the things in the universe, whatever they are, can make their existence by themselves and can sustain their existence by themselves, and very importantly, can control their existence by themselves. Then we say, okay, because it can exist by itself and control its own existence and sustain its own existence, why should I look for an external source as the initiating or creating power or creating factor, right? So far, I myself, I don't know about you, but I'm sure we are human beings. If or unless we take existence for granted, unless we take existence for granted, there is no way to explain the existence of anything by itself. It is illogical. We have to repeat this every time. If it is correct, we have to remind ourselves, because our minds are conditioned to overstep this point, taking existence for granted. And then start thinking, If I take the existence for granted, it means I have lost my base. I am starting from a very inconsistent assumption or proposition. That's what is happening. Our minds always start by saying that, let me see, for example, an atom, a cell. That is the main thing, or an action of, for example, a bird, a herd of birds. How is it called? Cloud of birds? Flock of birds move. So we start studying the movement. Which kind of aerobics they are dancing at. Me, happy, enjoying their existence. They are just, how do you say, enjoying their existence as they are made. But if one says, I'm studying the motion of the flock of birds, which they do, I see that there is a pattern, and this pattern repeats itself so much that I go crazy when I want to understand these people. They are similar, not exactly the same. But there is a pattern. That is the theory of chaos. You know that explaining the universe came into existence as a result of chaos. Look how many, if you like, taken for granted elements you will find in it. Birds. Where did you find them? How did they come into existence? Can they make themselves? Flock of birds. There is they say instinct, whatever it is, whatever the name they put, doesn't matter. How they come together? What does it mean, coming together, being together? Because there is an alternative, not being together. Who preferred, whether birds or whatever you call them, nature by themselves, coming together to not coming together? So coming together is a phenomenon. So where did you get this phenomenon, coming together? Flying is an event, isn't it? Flying is a phenomenon. Where did you get this flying? Further, flying in harmony, making a pattern activity. Where did you get this? Similar patterns, like this, that they dance, but not exactly the same. They don't repeat the same thing. And not exactly the same, it means they are not repeating. They are not repeating. What they are doing something in a different way, so that they shouldn't be exactly the same. All these activities, all these phenomena need to be explained from as far as their existence is concerned. And their existence cannot be attributed to the things themselves, because the things themselves are the question. Now, if I say, where did you come from? Or, how did you exist? If Risale says, I exist by myself, excuse me, did you give existence to yourself? You didn't exist. I'm questioning your existence. That's a very important point. You might have heard this from me on various occasions, because I think that my personal idea is this: people are missing this. Always, not only once, always, on every occasion they try to explain the existence of anything, they miss this point. And our mind is used to thinking that's an object, and this object's movements need to be explained. The bird is flying in a certain way. So bird is taken for granted, the existence of birds taken for granted. They have some qualities, their existence of the qualities have been taken for granted. Movement has been taken for granted. Everything has been taken for granted. I'm calculating it. As if somebody says, as a child, I think only a child can do. Say, for example, there are, let's say, cups here, teacups. Let's say comes a child, a newly growing child, let's say 5 years old. He counts the cups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10, 11, 12. Okay. He says, I know everything. How? Because I know there are 12 cups in this room. But he doesn't know what cup is. But he knows the number. So reducing the existence to calculations and number and labeling it as a scientific explanation is the disease of the 20th century. Reducing count, the explanation of the existence to counting. Observing what is there and not questioning their existence. A very childish mind. Very childish mind. There's a famous man, I don't know the name, I am not interested in the name, even I knew, I wouldn't mention. He says, I can tell you with a scientific certainty, it's an exact, so far it's an exact narration, with a scientific certainty, we don't know what will happen in the future. Look at the length. Well, we don't know what the future, how the things will develop. That's scientific certainty. I don't have to have any scientific certainty to say this statement. So, but if the friends here, we read it, laughed at this scientific explanation of existence. Risale, what do you think?
I think it's comical.
You can make a comic book about this. If you want to make fun of a person, you can attribute a sentence to that. It's a very famous professor. And makes a lot of propaganda, atheism, on YouTube, etc. So, why can, sir?
Can I ask something?
Mm-hmm.
How about evolution theory in terms of trying to explain the existence of things as they are now?
No, existence, the origin of existence? No, not origin of existence. After taking for granted many things, they are trying to explain how the things are evolving. And they are, but after taking existence for granted. For example, existence of an, whatever they call God, particle, whatever, the names are not important. They can label anybody with any name, anything with any name. Putting a name, Quran says, putting a name or labeling something with a name does not justify your conclusion. That's, أسماء سميتموها وآباؤكم. These are the names you and your fathers labeled. But, for example, I know this person. For example, what you said your name, right?
Tusha.
Tusha. Okay. If I claim that I know her, you ask me, who's she? Ask me. Tusha. Do I know you? Nothing at all. Tusha is a name. But the quality of real person there is totally unknown to me. When I start saying that Tusha, and then start explaining her actions, but actions I call, for example, I say she is walking, she is sitting, she is hearing. Okay, what is the phenomenon of walking? What is the phenomenon of hearing? Where did it get? Because I observed that she is hearing, but how did hearing come into existence? What I do, I take my camera with me, okay? I watch something under my camera, if you like, a camcorder, then filming it, and observing what's happening there, and putting them into a formula, and I explained what?
How it's happening.
Not the existence of those things, only what I am seeing. So our main question is, when the Quran says the property belongs to the Creator God who is speaking to you now, and of course by telling me this, the Quran is teaching me I have to concentrate on this point. It means when Quran says everything belongs to God, what am I expected to do under or by reading this guiding sentence? We have to be very careful to read the Quran as a guiding sentence, guiding speech. So what is he telling me? You have to investigate and try to find out who this property belongs to. I am saying as a guide, belongs to the Creator who is not of the nature of this universe. So I have to say either yes or no by investigating the existence. Property means who gave existence to it. Then it belongs to it. If I, in my human capacity, I see I made this is mine. Of course, I cannot really claim the existence of the things, but whatever the quality it has there, if I did it, I say this is mine. So, to whom the universe belongs? That is God. We have to look for the origin of the universe, origin of the things. And then we will follow what is happening, and whatever is happening there. For example, electron moves. That's very famous, all right? Electron moves. We have to say, what is motion? Where did it come from? We never allowed, if you like, or taught to question the existence of the matter or any quality of the matter that we observe. We are not really imagining God out there something. No, I have no such concept at all. I say, there is something here I am observing, and this thing is moving, acting this way or another way. And Quran says, all this belong to the Creator, who has given existence to the whole universe. They are all, as a Creator speaking, they are all mine. It means you cannot attribute the existence of anything, any quality, any property of anything to anything else other than the originator, the creator of this universe. Here is the challenge. Explain me the existence of motion. We just say electron moves very fast. No, fast or slow. Okay. Where did you get the existence of moving? Yeah, it's not stopping, it's moving. Who preferred to move rather than stop? The existence of motion needs to be explained. So if you take electron for granted, if you take motion for granted, and then you can say easily, electron is moving. Okay, but what I see as well, everything is moving, yes. Then, if you like, you swallow it. And then I can calculate how it moves. Like a child who calculates the number of the cups in the glass. Very simplistic, very childish. The existence needs to be questioned or put under scrutiny. Where did it come from? So the Quran carries on. We are powerful enough over everything. We are powerful enough over everything. I have to say that's a sentence. It claims that is the Creator is powerful enough or powerful over everything. What am I expected to do? Take the sentence as a guide and look at the universe and see, is the Creator, the originator, the source of this universe has enough power over everything? Observe it. Observe it. Whatever the qualities you see, obviously witness that my Creator has given it to me because I cannot produce anything of myself. Can you produce anything of yourself? In and of yourself? Can you?
No.
You are me. Can yourselves, use your reason, can yourselves produce anything in and of themselves? If you cannot, how they can? But it's a logic that we are the product of accidental happenings. It happened to be like this. You know, this happened to be, it happens to be in this way. That is the normal or standard behavior of action, behavior of the cell. But where did you get this behavior? Where did you get this behavior? So behavior, it moves itself. Can you move yourself? But you are given the quality to move, and you are given as a human being a free will to prefer to move, to prefer to move to not moving. That's why you are moving, because you are given this motion, an option to you, and you are using it. You are not creating the motion. You are using the option. Because motion has been created, excuse me, and you are giving the option, excuse me, you are giving the option only to choose, not to create. Take yourself as an example. For example, I am giving the option to speak. And using my free will, it is given again. You can say, where did you get your free will? You can ask this question freely. It is given to me. I am given all these qualities. Whoever gave me existence gave me these qualities alongside with my existence. So I am giving the existence, and through my existence I am giving the free will. Through my free will, as a result of my free will, I am giving the option to choose either moving or not moving, speaking or not speaking. What am I doing? I am not creating the speech. I am using the already given option. Already given option. When you prefer to speak to not to speak, be careful, you are not creating the speech. If you say, I am the source of the existence of speech, ask yourself, how honest can you be? You are the source of the existence of speech. Can you make speech out of nothing and make yourself be able to speak? So reduce this human action and ask the same question to everything without stepping over or skipping, without skipping the very fundamental question. Very fundamental question. The existence of any quality that we see in this world. So the Quran comes with another word now, another verse. Says, after saying that, pay attention. Okay, pay attention to the property, the things themselves.
How are you? Sorry, my sister.
Your sister? So is that Christmas or New Year present? So are you comfortable there?
Yes.
Oh, you can sit next to. MashaAllah, ahlan sahlan. Inshallah. I'm sure her name is not Ragda. Must be something else.
It's May.
Sorry?
May.
May?
Yes. May.
May?
Yes.
It's not May.
May June.
Yeah. It's, Egyptians always shorten the words. It must be a shortened form of something.
No, it's only 3 letters. May. M-A-I.
M-A-I. So in Arabic.
Miyami. It's only 2 letters in Arabic.
No, I couldn't catch.
May.
Mayya.
Yes.
Mayya means
Um,
may.
means, I'm not sure. There's
Isn't that
different
common?
meanings to it.
Egyptian names common.
Who?
I think that's common. I know two.
Yeah, I know.
names.
I definitely
Yeah, I know like
think
two.
I'm
names.
I didn't hear. Anyway, welcome. Yeah. So, and Quran says, take the property and think about its source of existence. One. And another verse comes, and not another only one, but other verses come with this expression saying, Malakut. فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء. It means the malakut. Of course, this is an Arabic word we will concentrate on. Malakut of everything is under his control, under his hand. It's content. What we understand from this verse, okay, my Creator is telling me that the glory belong to God. He's telling me, belong to me. You cannot glorify anybody else, anything else. And me is the one who holds the Malakut of everything. Let me see. I don't know. Because that's the statement I'm reading. I have to investigate. Of course, Malakut is a word maybe difficult to translate into English in a straightforward way, but it is coming from the same root of Malaka. So it means ownership. But Mulk is usually in the context, the general context of the Quran. Mulk is used usually in what existence of the things as they appear. Malakut is their qualities. For example, we can ask this: who does this house, the building, belong to? And we say it belongs to, let's think about it in terms of making. It belongs to, or it is made by architect Mr. John. Okay? Architect John. That is, this property belongs to John. That's what we understand. When it comes to Malakut, it means whatever the qualities we see, we observe in this building, all the qualities, details, qualities, not necessarily details. For example, of course there is a calculation engineering, because the building is founded on certain columns, foundations, and the foundations are calculated. So accordingly, they said on this corner we will have this big, this size, this quality cement, etc., etc. One pillar. Another corner, one pillar. We understand that there is a calculation there. Measurement. Yeah? Malakut is this. Not the pillar or not the foundation itself, only in the foundation there is measurement. Malakut. Within the foundation, it is not ugly, for example. It's made beautiful. In a way that the conscious beings will appreciate that. So beauty is Malakut. Wisdom is Malakut.
The intangible things then?
But the qualities of the things that you can find out. Intangible, tangible, maybe. But whatever the qualities you find. For example, if I say, my body, my being, belongs to my Creator, because He gave existence to my being. That's why I say I exist, right? If an atom had consciousness and ability to speak, it would also say, I exist. Right? Don't alienate atom from yourself. Use yourself as a criterion and say, as a human being, I question my existence with this language. As an atom or a particle also, as a particle, presents its existence not in the verbal in the verbal way, oral way, speaking, then I exist, but through its own existence, it says, I exist. Right? So, in order to understand what existence is, I have to come to myself, because I can only really reason through myself, because it's very important, this one. I am given the ability to be aware of my own existence. I am self-aware, self-conscious being, a self-conscious being. So I have to use my ability to question my own existence, so because I am aware of my existence, so that I will be able to understand the existence of the other, rest of the creation, by following the same reasoning, and then I will conclude with a conclusion which will make sense to me and which will not contradict my self-consciousness. That's the matter, because I use myself as a criterion. Is there any other way? Don't be very religious. The Quran is another criterion. No, it's far away. Start from your own reality. Apart from yourself, you have no criterion in order to start the investigation of the reality of this universe as it exists. Don't be don't hurry, don't conclude, don't come to the conclusion very quick. If someone says Quran is a criterion, I don't know, I'm just looking at myself and saying, do I exist or not? As a person, as I am responsible for my own qualities, nothing more, nothing less. For my own qualities, I say I exist. I do exist. I don't know. If someone says I don't know, that's his choice. We know that I have the option to choose to say yes or no to everything. So, for myself, I say I do exist. Okay. So, I use this consciousness for my own existence and carry on thinking, where did I get my existence? How it is developed? No, but my existence. Who or what preferred my existence to my non-existence? Now, in Arabic, wujud, Adam. Right? Who preferred my existence to my non-existence? Because I do exist. That's a reality I am experiencing. I have no doubt. And that is Mulk. Malakut. I have the power of seeing. I can see. I can think. I can analyze. I can ask questions. Right? I can look for wisdom. I can look for beauty. I can look for consistency, logical consistency. When I see the logical consistency, I am happy, happiness. When I see a logical inconsistency, I'm not happy. I don't say, no. Why do I say no? Where did I get this concept? They all are given to me. These are my Malakut, the elements of my Malakut side. My body actions or blood circulation, cell developments, whatever, all one by one needs to be investigated starting from existence. And The quality needs to be questioned. Where did you get this quality? What is the source of existence of this quality? That is Malakut. Yeah.
Yeah, and just going back to the idea of evolution, should there be a contradiction between evolution and basically accepting that the qualities of this thing that I'm observing came from God? I don't see a contradiction between the two. I mean,
Created? Yes. Every moment? Yes. But if someone says, I am observing, how? But it is too quick to say now. Maybe if you remind me, towards the end we can conclude this. Because we have to see the correlation between Mulk and Malakut. It means the property and the qualities of the property. So God says, be careful when you read the Quran, when it says the Malakut belongs to God, the Malakut, the qualities, or there may be another better word for it actually, to control of everything. For example, He created me, whoever, but don't forget your question. If I say, okay, we are done now, say, oh, but there is a question, remind me. Whoever gave my existence as I am, right? If I see a quality in it, the Quran says you have to attribute that quality in your existence to the one who owns your property. It means, if I say this building belongs to architect John, and if I found out that, there are some designs, there are some purpose, then conscious preferences, beauty, art, I have to say, the art is meant to be there as an art by the architect. Is it fair to conclude this? Can you say the building itself is making art? Whoever owns the Mulk, Malakut belongs to the owner of the Mulk. Right? That's Quran's consolidating and guiding me to see, to understand that if I want to learn, investigate, and we are human beings, we are given curiosity. We are curious about the origin of our existence, as well as we are curious about the origin of other things. So if I found out the origin of my own existence, I'm not referring to origin of existence as evolutionists say at all. No, my existence right now. My existence, how do I develop? Even I develop whatever, who gave me the development? What is the origin of the existence of development? Right? Because we said we should never leave the first step behind. We should never take existence for granted. Right? So development, excuse me, there's a phenomenon, development, as opposed to not development. Who prefer the existence of development to not development? Whatever it is, whatever you describe, we are not being scientific here. We cannot, because we are not to use the scientific language just to impress you. That doesn't change the reality. You may speak about the small thing, or a speckle in the air, but the other one laughs at you because he has used the microscope, the huge electron microscope. Speckle is as huge as a solar system compared to particle. Okay. Does it change the reality? No. makes or increases my curiosity even more. So more, what is going on, right? Rather than impress me, say, oh, this man knows. This man knows. What does he know? The smaller part than what you know. What, we are talking about the existence. Whatever small or big or the existence. So, if I say, this carpet has been made by Mr. John, the design on the carpet, the art on the carpet, or whatever the qualities you find, strength, durability, whatever, belong to the owner of the carpet. That is true when we think about it in terms of existence. Existence. In terms of existence. For example, if you take the strings, for, the existence of strings for granted, and you say, of course, this carpet has been made by a human being. It's not created by a human being. So, the strength is not coming from Mr. John. It comes from the string itself. But we are saying whoever gave existence to the carpet, all the qualities of the carpet belongs to him. So if you don't, again, pay attention to the existence of the thing, strength, right? Then you say the person who made the carpet used the strong strings. That's why the carpet is durable. Now, that is what is happening in the modern mind. But we say, excuse me, did you say strong string? Yeah? Where did they get the existence of this? I'm talking at the level of, at the stage of existence. At the stage of existence. Right. Malakut. That's why Quran says, فَسُبْحَانَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ مَلَكُوتُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. The Malakut, the quality of everything belongs to him, then all glory belongs to him. It means you have to say the carpet, it belongs to Mr. John, the strength of carpet, beautiful art, we see in the belongs to him. You cannot glorify anybody else, anything else, because if the carpet belongs to existence of carpet is given by Mr. John, the carpet's qualities must be attributed to him. That's what the Quran is really drawing our attention to, not splitting the, or not separating, so don't separate the existence of a thing from the existence of the quality of that thing. Whoever is the source of my existence, my quality, whatever you see in human beings, for example, thinking quality or being anxious, belongs to the one who gave me my existence. Now, if someone comes and says, you know, the thinking quality or anxiety or belongs to your nerve system, I don't care. Nerve system belongs to the source of my existence. So, whatever the quality you appear to be coming from any part of my being, That is how I am talking about what I am talking about, the source of existence of my own being. So you would say, whoever your existence belongs to, your, for example, sense of anxiety belongs to him. He created it. The dilemma comes there, or duality comes there. God created my body, I am created by God. Anxiety is caused by my nerve system, my brain functions. Do you see the contradiction? Where did you get it? Where did you get it? If your nerve cells created or not? Do they exist by themselves? Can you explain it? Use yourself as a criteria. Can you explain your own existence by saying that I exist by myself? Or you are made. So your existence is given. Look, you are made by your cells. Excuse me. I am asking existence of the source of existence of my cells, so that I will explain the existence of my whole body. Existence, existence, existence. Never miss that. Study and listen. Listen. People speaking. Study the articles, the books that people are writing. And they are saying that when they say, ask the question, excuse me, sir, you don't have to be personally in contact with them, with the text. What is the source of existence of the quality you are talking about? For example, say, a cell moved this way, or an enzyme has been produced like this. Enzyme produced, there's a production. Where did you get this? Where did you get this? It's a quality. Where did you get this? Explain the existence of this producing. You can make it very simple. Human beings speak. And some, especially. So, human beings speak. We say usually, that's why it's very important to understand this matter. Whoever made me, my quality of making speech or speaking quality is created by him. If I say, it's very illogical, very simplistic, and also very, duality between separating Mulk from Malakut. Giving Mulk to the Creator, God, and Malakut to the Mulk, without realizing.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ali.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sorry, I have a question about what you were saying about the anxiety, for example, being given by God.
Yeah.
So we have a question here. Somebody says, so what if I'm a nervous wreck, for example? Is that given by God? Like if I'm
Created.
stressed, right? Really like overly nervous.
Yeah.
Or hypochondriac,
Overly.
something like that. Is that given by God? Or what's the explanation for that?
Who's
When it
speaking?
becomes negative,
Who's speaking?
Salah.
Salah. Why aren't you not here?
Speaking from Saudi Arabia.
From
Are you in Saudi Arabia now?
I'm sitting with my family. We're listening to you.
So with your Salah, okay. When you are you from originally Saudi Arabia? Are you? Yes or no? Yes. How did you get the visa to come to the States and speak? That's what I was going to ask you. so now you're in Saudi Arabia, you have to be...
No, I have family here. That's how I I got the visa. It's a family visit visa.
No, to come to the, your voice is coming into United States without visa. It's illegal. It's illegal, man. You have to get the visa. Okay, Salah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. It meant to be a joke, but my jokes need to be deciphered after coming. Look, that's
That's Hamza.
I'm gonna take the mic off.
okay. So, okay. Now, nervous breakdown or not having any nervous reaction at all, even somebody is alive or dead, doesn't matter. We are asking the source of existence of any phenomenon. God only say the creator of the whole universe can be responsible for the existence of any quality in the universe. As far as my effort to explain the existence of the thing. Nervous breakdown, you name it, okay. Or I may say, I have a nerve system, which I am moving, I am touching, I am feeling. Or everything belongs to him. As far as their creation, it means as far as their coming into existence is concerned. We are talking about wujud, coming into existence. So, is God responsible for nervous breakdown? Yes, as far as its creation is concerned. But as a human being, I have a free will, I can choose this way or another way, etc. My choice, my using of my freedom is a completely different matter, because I have asked God to create this or to create that. That's my responsibility, because I am using my free choice. But the creation, the result, God says, as a human being, as human beings, whatever you choose, I created. But if something happens without my choice, that's it. For example, I don't want to die. Now, I'm quite happy with this existence. They say, but the hereafter is better. No, I'm already better here, you know. so I don't want to go there. Not because I don't want to eternal life. That's just news. That's just news. Whether I confirm this news or not, that's completely another matter, because I am just concentrating on the existence of things now. So I am happy with my existence. I am happy the quality of my existence, which is alive. And this aliveness is accompanied with consciousness. I am happy with my consciousness of my own existence. Right? I am happy. So whoever gave my existence, gave these qualities, I am happy with the source. Alright? I am happy with it. But I know that from my experience, again, the experience is recorded in my memory. So I have seen events before, and I know from my memory it then given to me by my creator. This quality memory is given to me by my creator. Right? That everybody dies with no exception. I'm going to die. I'm going to be given death. Alright? Will I be happy with death when it is given to me? Yes. It's not my property. Property belongs to the origin of my existence, and the qualities of the property belong to the origin of my existence. I have to combine. God created me and I am dying. No, excuse me. The death is a created action, created by my maker. He gave me my existence with life. He has all right to give all qualities to my existence, including without life. So if I have not chosen nervous breakdown type of existence, it's not my responsibility, because I have not chosen it. For example, how many ears do you have?
2.
Why not 4? I don't know. And the answer is very clear. Eh? It's not my responsibility. It is because you have not chosen it. You have not chosen it. Yeah? The universe, the earth or the matter pulls and gravity. So it is pulling. It is giving this quality by the creator of the earth. So can we say that God created the earth and earth is pulling now? It's ridiculous, don't you say that? God created the earth with its own qualities. So can you explain the existence of pulling by itself? So whoever created the atom with its Malakut. It means with its qualities. That is pulling, yes, pulling is created by the creator of the atom. Moves, created by the creator of the atom. So the problem comes here. Whatever happens to me is given to me by my creator. As far as my responsibility is concerned, I am responsible for my free choice. It's snowing. It's beautiful. It doesn't snow very often, does it, in Cairo? Yeah. All right.
It never snows
You
in
see
Cairo.
when people are smiling.
Especially to see the snow.
Sorry, have you ever seen snow?
No, I'm.
No, this is the first time. Okay, you have to congratulate this and also celebrate it. Do something. Right? Do we get now? So, I should worry if I have, because I have the consciousness of worrying. You know, if you do something wrong, do you get upset? That's how you are hardwired. Your creator gave you this. Your responsibility is, when you are using your free will, our free will, which one are we choosing? Not creating. Allahu khalaqakum wa ma ta'mal. Right? We are not the creators of our actions. Exactly. The cells are not the creators of their actions. Atoms are not the creators of their actions. So if I say even the very, go to the micro world and something, small variations I can see, all right? Small variation, very small variation, because we know by observing the universe that everything that is interesting, you may not know, I have no idea, but what is happening in this world within the system of the creation but within the system of the creation, is the result of the minute, they call it intimacy. No. The smallest part of them. I cannot word this word. The small variations. No.
Mutations.
No. Intimacy.
Oh, infinitesimal.
Say it again, please. Infinitesimal.
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 Is
Oh, wow,
in,
yeah.
in infinitesimal. Yeah, that's the word I was looking. You go into infinitesimal. Is it right? No. Infinitesimal level. Still, the big events. The system is like this. It's so amazing. You know, if you like, it's snowing now, not because of the galaxies there. What I'm just telling about the system, how the system has been established. Not because of the galaxies, because of the very, very small movements, change. That's why the Muslim scholars are crazy about similarity, but not exactly. Nothing repeats in this world, in the existence of this world, exactly the same even for a moment. But they are similar. But they are so similar that what those people who want to reduce the creation to accidental happenings, this is a very small, negligible change. So let's make an approximation. When you make the mathematical approximation, what does it mean? You are ignoring, you are just leaving behind the very important fragmental change, which is the cause of the rain now or snow in the system. In the cause, not the cause. But the system is so finely tuned that you have to understand, if you want to understand what is happening in this world, you have to concentrate on the very infinitesimal difference. Yeah? If you go and look at the galaxies and this galaxy caused the rain, that is not right. So, the movement of, the difference between, the slightest difference between heat here or cold there and the temperature here, the sunlight, the angle of the sunlight comes a little bit like this, very small. You can ignore it because you cannot see the big effect immediately. But 10 years later, you will find that is the reason to snow today. That's very simple, it's very common nowadays, that they name it and throw it into accident. Or as if, that's it, butterfly effect. You know. It means, butterfly effect, it means, it's very small, they call it, because so small thing that you cannot calculate. Be careful right now. If you cannot calculate, it means chaotic. Because, again, I remember reading this from serious Muslim scholars, if human beings cannot go into the detail enough, they are not able to calculate it, they are not aware of it, because they cannot really handle it, they attribute it to accident. If it is accidental, it's happening like this, we don't know. Why don't you say, I don't know? Say, I don't know. I cannot calculate it. So small things are happening in this world that I cannot calculate it. Because when I cannot calculate it, they are not under my control, so that I cannot take it to my lab, and in the lab I can imprison the conditions, eliminate billions of other factors, which are the parts of the universe existence, which are the Malakut of the existence. If you don't know, you cannot say it is accidental. Because your friend comes from Manhattan, you come from, let's say, Brooklyn, and you met each other at the very corner of 40th train station. You say, so I just happened to bump into my friend. It was a beautiful accident or beautiful happening, accidental happening. Coincidence, we coincide. Because you don't know when he started coming, etc., the details of both of your actions, you attribute it to coincidence. But if someone sees you moving from there, stopping at the traffic light, and there, and at the end, he knows that you are going to meet there. It's not accident. It's not accident. It's a perfect order in creation. Because that's a very Muslim scholar, the deep thinking Muslim scholars say, human beings attribute to coincidence the things they cannot take control of it. It means calculated. So, but these things that we cannot calculate, it's not because we cannot calculate. No, so small that should never be neglected because of this small difference that the universe system has been working as it is now. So pay attention to the micro world and find out the qualities in the micro world. Not the macro world is, of course, it's obvious. But if you want to understand the wonderful act of the Creator, you have to pay attention to micro world. Not the macro world first, micro world first. And see the consistency in all differences of this infinitesimal differences, similarity but not exactly the same. Yes, that similarity is similarity, not exactly the same. That's why God says in the Quran, we don't repeat the creation, we renew it. We renew it. Right? So creation means, Halaqa means giving existence to something with no space and time limit. Because after the existence of the thing, we locate space and time. If there was no existence, we could never imagine space and time. So, existence is what? Momentarily taking place in the minute level, perfectly under control. Even I don't know, it doesn't matter whether I know or not. Maybe sometimes we may go into the minute world or micro world, but we may find out the Malakut aspect of the creation. We will say, oh, the Creator has given this quality to this creature. Okay, go on.
Oh yeah, just a quick clarification between Mulk and Malakut. So Malakut is like, as you mentioned right now, like the intricate details of creation. So everything. But isn't like Mulk, isn't that also kind of like, encompassing?
Okay.
Like is there really like such a distinction between the two?
No.
I guess.
Quran doesn't say this. Everything exists. Everything exists. You can either take a microscope or a telescope. If you take a microscope, you go into the micro world and see the details and the qualities of the things. Or if you take a telescope, in both ways, you cannot get the end. It means the Malakut unfolds ever, because as the Quran says, the Creator is eternal. Creator is not of the same nature of the universe. That's what La ilaha illahu means. It means if you really investigate the universe, you will find only one thing, that the universe is, the existence of this universe, the source of the existence of the universe, cannot be a part of the universe itself. That's so simple. Whether the big word or small word doesn't matter, but if you want to understand the delicacy in the existence of the things and their qualities, you'd better go into the details. There you can see the absoluteness, infiniteness, infinity of the source of existence of that thing. So you can say his knowledge has no boundary. His power has no boundary. His wisdom has no boundary. I cannot explain his wisdom within the conditions of this universe. I cannot attribute the existence of anything, any quality of anything within the conditions of this universe. So I have to go for the source out of this universe. In a moment, if I see an ant moved one leg, another leg, okay? Take the picture of this. Take this moment, let's say, took place in a tenth of a second. All right? Take this and investigate it. How it happened. What happened in the body of the ant. So you will obviously see that whoever gave existence to the ant, all the moving, the muscles, and whatever the consciousness or awareness or instinct, whatever in the ant, everything is given to the ant by the source of the existence of the ant. Because you cannot explain the qualities by attributing it to anything else. So what they do, yes, inshallah, we have to complete. It has been a long time. One time is it 12 years. It's 12 something after 12, I can say. Yeah? What they do, by sometimes, I have written, people have written something here. So there's no such a thing as coincidence at all. Haifa Haruni. Yeah. But it's what my conclusion is. There is no coincidence in the existence. Everything is in their minute piece, either space-wise or time-wise. Right? Yesterday, today, 1 minute ago, now. There is no coincidence. If there is coincidence, there is no God. There is no creator.
Right.
If there is coincidence, means there is no creator. It's happening by itself. Can you explain your existence as coincidence? If you say coincidence, one how do you say, fragment of an atom. If somebody says one fragment of an atom happened by coincidence and I am absolutely sure of it, this person is saying the universe is the result of coincidence. He doesn't have to say the galaxies or no, there is no need to talk about the big or small. If one thing comes into existence by coincidence, it means coincidence is the source of existence. If something is the source of existence, is the absolute source of things, because he's bringing something into existence out of nothing. Can you imagine? But doesn't human mind bringing something into existence out of nothing cannot comprehend. Human mind cannot comprehend It means non-existence and existence are completely different phenomena. It means non-existence doesn't exist. If something exists, it means it is not non-existent. If something is not non-existent, then we have to ask the question, who preferred the existence of this thing to its non-existence? Because we cannot say that the thing, myself or anything, exists by itself. It doesn't make sense. It is illogical. I exist by myself. So the two words never made sense to me in this world. Happening by itself and natural. I don't understand what they mean. Never. What is unnatural? The things are very simplistic, very superficial way of explaining the things. Extremely superficial.
And supernatural, that's...
But so natural means nothing. Supernatural means double nothing. What does it mean? There's no natural, so you are talking about supernatural. It's so ridiculous. We have to think seriously. We have to think. Another question is, I have a question too on Maktub Tariq Jalali.
Imam Murmur, I was just wondering,
Imam, who said Imam?
when we say that Allah allows His creation to think they are making choices, yet they've already decided what they will choose, He's already decided what they will choose, or rather, does He allow humans to make choices and then has a path, consequences, or rewards for every path? Like, I'm not sure if I understand if choices then really exist in any way.
Don't you choose? Haven't you decided to speak now?
But didn't Allah already know that I was going to make that choice?
Why do you? Where
Is
do
that a
you,
choice?
why do you bring Allah into the discussion? Did you choose it or not? This quality has been given to you by a creator, or that is another matter. Are you not experiencing your free will, which is given to you, and you have decided to use it rather than not to use it? You decided to speak. Welcome to speak. Okay. Don't you know that you are using the freedom to choose this option? You are not the creator of your speech, but you wanted to speak by using this option given to you by whoever made you. So you cannot say that I have no choice, because when you say that I have no choice, it is your choice.
Okay.
You
Is it fair to
choose.
say that Allah knew?
No, just,
what choice
no,
was
no.
going to
That
make?
is a
And that's
completely.
what Maktub is?
No, brother, are you? I don't know. Are you Tariq Jalali?
Yes.
Or whatever, whoever you are, every human being is deserves to be respected. We do respect you, and I don't have to know who you are. Doesn't matter. But brother, we are saying Allah knew. So where did you get this idea? We are talking about the reality of this universe and saying that this universe must come from a source who is absolute. That makes sense. This absolute source is called God, Allah, whatever. But Allah knew. Of course, I cannot speculate about God, but what I can say from my observation of this universe very easily, that whoever made this universe, in his qualities, he is absolute, infinite. So I can see that there is knowledge manifesting, this quality of knowledge manifesting in this world. So the source of the existence of this knowledge must be an absolutely knowing one. That's my conclusion. That's called Iman, belief. Certainty. I am absolutely sure whoever made me, including the universe within which I exist, I am made, has absolute knowledge. right? So that's my conclusion. So we have to be very careful. I know, I'm aware of what we are doing here. We are not repeating classical and simplistic argumentation of the matter related to divine determining qadar in a classical way. No, we are just really reassessing within the conditions of our time and our whatever we know now. So we methodologically we are not taking neither existence for granted nor belief in God for granted. It goes along together, because if you take your belief in God for granted, I would legitimately ask you, where did you get this idea? How did you believe in God? But who told you? Your father? But are you imitating your father? Are you a parrot? It must be your own conclusion. So you have to have your base for your belief. That's why we don't use any preconception about religion in our discussions, because we are founding our discussion on a secure base, so that when I say I believe in God, I know what I am saying. I'm not borrowing this idea from anywhere else, from my own investigations, from my own observation of the world. That when you ask the question with bears religious religious dogmas, because if it is not your own conclusion, it is your dogma. So we cannot base any argument on any religious dogma. No, because we cannot accept religion as dogma. Dogma is the attitude of those people who speak about accident, who speak about nature, who speak about it's happening by itself. These are dogmatic phrases. I am not saying God created the universe. This is dogmatic. I am saying, after investigating the universe, there must be an absolute source. This absolute source, I don't know who that it is. We discussed this. The essence of this absolute source is not the subject of our realization. So we discussed that. But the existence of this absolute source, I can 100% confirm it. That is belief in God. Belief in God is our conclusion. So we cannot take existence for granted. Equally right, we cannot take belief in for granted. We have to come to a conclusion. That conclusion will be our last sentence. Therefore, I am sure of the existence of an absolute creator who is called God, who has absolute qualities. There is no other way. Otherwise, not because I may become a kafir or no. I may lose my eternal life. Or these are all preconceptions. Otherwise, I cannot explain the existence of my and particular in myself. I cannot explain it. Do you see what I mean? That's why I'm sure of the existence of the Creator. Because I cannot explain the universe. Not because of the lack of science or investigation. No, because of my own observation. Or the scientific investigations are nothing more than discovering the Malakut of this world. they are most welcome. But study more. Not only study the atoms, study photons, study waves, magnetic fields, whatever. They are all the Malakut of this world. The more information I receive, the more confirmation I feel in my heart that the capacity of the knowledge is really, really beyond my imagination. It's absolute. I have to conclude absolute. The more data we receive from investigating how the things are coming into existence, not how the things are happening by themselves, how the things are coming into existence, the more I investigate, the more I am confident in my conclusion that the Creator is really absolute. Really absolute. So we don't use, Brother Tariq, we don't use preconceived concepts because we are investigating here to come to a conclusion. Others, I know Tariq wanted to ask something else. I have a question to Tariq. Okay. No, not existence, Haifa says, but can I say I met Dr. Ali by coincidence? Good question. Haifa says, can I say I met Dr. Ali, somebody by coincidence? No. You can say I met somebody I didn't know how, but the Creator of the whole universe, including the minute particles in it, knows it. Must, because they are coming into existence as a result of knowledge. Okay, thank you. Here is now the last questions. I know your question. Before that, sorry.
Did Maya have a question?
No, not a
Maya.
question. I just have an ayah to add to this existence thing. The ayah of, I have an ayah to add. إذا حسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون. فتعالى الله الملك الحق. So this ayah just confirms what you're saying about the existence of like coexistence randomly and stuff.
He knows.
Yeah, exactly.
The one who creates knows.
Yeah.
Because
So
when we
like
look at the creation, we know that the creation has the quality of knowledge. ألا يعلم من خلق? Yeah? The question is very beautiful. ألا يعلم من خلق? Don't you think that the one who creates doesn't know? I mean, it's obvious here. Okay.
Okay, so it's not a question. It's I think there are a lot of different avenues to discuss between Islam and science. So there is no contradiction between Islam and science. Yet, Western science, epistemology and ontology, talks about quantitative reductionism. So everything has to be quantifiable and have to be reduced into the most minute sort of what you can repeat into a generalization. Otherwise, it won't make any sense as something. It's science, and what we're trying, or I think we're trying to do is we're looking at the Malakut, right, to be able to eventually reach a conclusion. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
That on the most minute level, eventually there is a creator, right? But then
We have to attribute it to an eternal source, absolute source.
what I'm trying to say is there seems to be like a paradox between the quantifiable reductionism and Islam and science. Us not being like Christianity, for example, that they oppose science, or they said we don't look at science because we do. That's what we do. But at the same time, we don't look at it from the Western understanding of what the qualities of science, what science is, or the nature of science. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but in principle, I don't feel offended. there's no need to make Christianity is this, Judaism is this, Islam is that. No. What I am expected to say, whoever investigates this existence here finds even the more detailed quality of the things which are the signs, not the signs to the quality of the source of the existence. So that people can have a reductions approach, interpretations, all right? And we know what's going on not in the science, but in the people's minds who investigate the existence of the things and interpret it in another way by what we are doing here, or just to say, to make sure that if they interpret something, what they do in their interpretation, first, they skip the existence of the thing and they attribute the Malakut, the qualities of the things, to the thing themselves. How can they do the second step mistake? Because they skip the first step. And then they say, we are just explaining how the things are happening. They are not explaining how the things are happening. They are putting their own personal judgments and personal understandings and attributing the event to their own personal expectations. If I did the same thing, if I said, it's snowing now, how God created it, beautiful, isn't it? God creates it beautiful. This statement has no better value than if a person says, look at the beautiful snow, how nature did it. They are equal, the same thing. That is what we have to wake up to. When I use in my statement the word God, doesn't legitimize my explanation of the thing. When they use the word nature in their explanation of the events, this doesn't disqualify their statement, because both of them are still begging the question, where did you get God? Equally true, where did you get nature? Right? Do you have any evidence here? I don't. So we have to investigate, either say God or nature or coincidence or by itself, whatever. Excuse me, just a minute. Don't put or load value on your sentence by using a word which needs to be proven. So as a person who believes in God as the creator of the universe, when you say a sentence saying that God created the snow, right? It's beautifully. You have to say, I don't know that, but what I know, the existence of the snow is really beautiful. And I cannot attribute this beauty in the existence of the snow to anything else than an absolute source. Right? This absolute source is God. But there's a difference. Can they say this absolute source is nature? Define the nature. Define the nature. If nature is absolute creator, absolute the one who's absolute has knowledge, absolute power, nature has absolute wisdom, it means nature is not of the same kind of this universe. Because this universe is not absolute. They are all subject to creation. So exactly what they are saying, instead of saying La ilaha illallah, what they would be saying, La ilaha illa tabi'ah, which is absolute. But if they say no, we are not going out of the universe, what? This absolute is within the universe, it's contradiction. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. Absolute cannot be within the universe, because universe, first, by its own existence, not absolute, subject to continuous change, cannot sustain itself, and is subject to continuous change must be afterwards. So it means space and time are limited. You cannot put absolute within a limited term. That's the contradiction of the naturalists. They don't know what they are talking about. Really. I'm very serious about it. In my own conviction, they don't know what they mean when they say nature. They may ask me, do you know what you mean when you say God? Excuse me, I don't know what I mean as far as the essence of God is concerned, but what I am absolutely sure, the existence of an absolute source in order to explain the existence of this universe. This absolute source there must be an absolute source. And I say, this source is God. You describe now what you mean by nature, and let's make sense of it. The essence of nature. I am not asking about the essence of nature. How do you define nature? If nature is defined within the conditions of this universe, within the limits of this universe, it doesn't make sense. If take nature out of this universe and make it absolute, excuse me, that's what, when I say God, that's God. But you may not name it God, none of my business, but make it absolute. Say, when you say La ilaha illallah, what I mean, there is nothing in this world which has absolute qualities. Only the one who is the source of the existence of this world is God. Illa means this. So he is saying the same thing. But of course the consequence of it, after defining it, they cannot define nature out of this universe. So it is really circular within the conditions of this universe. Yeah? Saying that the universe is creating itself. Universe is giving existence to itself. It means. So if the nature is a something within the universe, whatever it is, doesn't matter. So it means the universe is creating itself. Ask yourself, something is giving existence to itself. How logical it is. We are human beings. I cannot contradict myself. I cannot say I gave existence to myself. Carpet gave existence to itself, but there was no carpet. There was no carpet which will give existence to itself. That is the logical fallacy, an absolute fallacy that the atheists doesn't want to talk. They say, when you talk about it, their answer is, I don't know how much you read or you are reading, their answer is, this question is not a question.
Dawkins, it's the dumbest thing ever.
So, if it is not a question, what is the question? Then the question is, what is the source of existence of these things? I don't have any other question. I don't care who made the carpet. No, I don't care who made the atom or anything, but I care who made me. It means my existence. All right? Where I got my existence? That's the question. Where did I get my existence?
What do they mean when they say this question is not?
Ask them. Well, I know, it's stupid.
Not
It's
just-
illogical, it's stupid, it's running away, because it really undermines the very, very first step that they are missing, the existence. Because when you ask this question, it comes there. So come to your, I think we have to stop somewhere quickly. Now your question. When you hear that the people are talking about the things, the sequence of the things happening in time, so break the existence in time, the time dimensions, not on the space dimension. Whatever you say, for example, let's say my hand is here, I'm there. What you will say, excuse me, while your hand was here is an independent creation than when your hand is here. It is adopting all human perceptions. Someone may say, this man is speaking, this man is moving. So if something happens, for example, I protect my life. They say, oh, you see, this man is protecting his life. Also, this man wants to reproduce itself. Where did you get this idea? Protecting my life, reproducing myself. Where did they come from? Reproducing, protecting my life, adopting my life. Look at this kind of word, adopting my life. Where did I get this adoption? Adopting myself. All these concepts are, if you like, really the concepts which has no logical base for their own existence. They just use it, I don't know. Well, they are human beings. They are expected to use their brain as well. We are all human beings. I have to use my abilities because self-consciousness, I am made conscious of my own abilities. I have to use them. I shouldn't ignore them. So these are, to me, bigotries, dogmas. Dogma. Yes, some people may say, I believe in God, and God created everything. God knows everything. This is dogma. So these are equally dogmas of the atheists. So, of course, not every day we have to go through these stages, but at least from the beginning we have to have this base, and then we can talk. We can talk saying that, yes, I'm absolutely sure God created, there is God who created the universe, otherwise I cannot explain the universe. So the snow has been created by the same God that I concluded. And I am moving. Yes, movement has been created by the same source that I concluded yesterday. And let's say I am protecting my existence, my body. So this protection has been created by God, I concluded yesterday in my. So I cannot say God did this. No. This action has been done by God, I concluded yesterday. Conclusion must be very sound.
So I can say that bacteria evolved because God has created the evolution of bacteria.
No, creating bacteria in a way that I observe it as it is evolving, but bacteria doesn't evolve. Because bacteria doesn't know how to evolve.
Right.
Bacteria is created within the time fragments, in a way that I can see that its existence is following a pattern. But this pattern is not exactly the same, but similar. That's why I can find myself easy to adapt or to communicate with the creation, because whenever I feel hungry, I eat and I'm satisfied. So I feel hungry. What shall I do? Yesterday I did, and I am satisfied. So today I must go and eat because I feel hungry. That makes my life easy. That is again purpose of the Creator. Making the things, creating the things in a similar, but not so much that I will say they are repeating themselves. Mathematically, you cannot explain. Because mathematics, what mathematics do? Multiplies, multiplies, multiplies. Or it uses the same pattern. In the creation, we cannot see the same pattern. Everybody knows that there is no exactly the same pattern, but similar pattern. It means the Creator, whoever made this universe, so much perfectly adjusted the system that I feel comfortable to communicate with the universe, with the rest of the world, but at the same time, I cannot reduce the existence of the universe to the repetition of the same thing. No, there is always free choice, makes one thing different from another. So today we studied Mulk and Malakut. So one of the main subject that the Muslim scholars concentrated on, looking at the word at the ahadiyya level. Ahadiyya level, it means every single event needs to be scrutinized under the conscious observation of human beings. So it is ahadiyya means in every single thing you can see the absolute qualities of the Creator. Otherwise you cannot explain the existence of anything. That's a very big challenge. So that breaks down time. We have to be very careful. We take it for granted again that the time is happening by itself, as if. What is time? Okay, the last sentence. Time is the continuation of the act of creation. Nothing more. Nothing more, nothing less. Continuation of the act of creation. Creation means bringing things into existence while they don't exist by themselves. So, continuation of the bringing things into existence. If the one who gives existence to things does stop giving existence to things, what happens?
That's it.
That's it. There's no time, there's no space, nothing. Right? So we can logically understand this. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم إن الحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.
Dr. Ali. Like not too limited, but this kind of sounded like a good tafsir for like Surah Mulk. No, because I mean like